Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, wild world out there. And here we stand, folks, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob Grams, that's ProBoh, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
What's up, my beautiful angels? How are you doing out there in Radioland? Firstly, to our Vaughan Radio listeners, good morning. It's currently Tuesday morning at 8:30. For our super cool live people, well, you know what time it is. It's 8 p.m. on this beautiful Monday evening. A bit cold today. It was a cold Monday today. Do you think, Lady Bo?
Yeah, it was. Surprisingly
freezing my eggs in the house. If you're watching the stream live, you'll notice Ladybot is better illuminated. You asked for it, and you got it, folks. You got an illuminated Ladybot. Yay! How do you feel about being better seen, Ladybot?
not as good as I was before in the shadows.
You enjoyed being lurking in the shadows.
Yes.
I know, but you know, the people asked and they received. That's how it works.
We provide.
Yeah, they ask, we provide. That's what we do around these parts. Let's turn a bit of attention to the chat. We've got the bridge here. We've got Chusky and Yuritam, Gandalf Man. We are killing it. We're killing it. Close the doors, guys. Don't let anyone else in. And the final people we have to welcome to today's show is our wonderful podcast listeners, our godlike, intelligent, super beautiful podcast listeners. Guys, if you're not listening to the podcast, you should do. Yeah, you've got no excuse. What the hell are you doing with your lives? Just go to wherever the hell it is that you find your podcasts. Search for the ProBoh Show, and you will find it. We're unavoidable. And for all the people that already do, my God, you are beautiful, aren't you? I can see the podcast analytics, and they're actually pretty in depth. The podcast on Podbean, you can really get granular with the detail. And apparently, you guys are sexy AF. I don't know. Look, I don't make up these figures. That's just what the analytics is telling me, folks. You maybe notice also if you're watching live, I'm not wearing my glasses again. So bear in mind if it takes me a while to read something. Still not fixed. Did I tell you this? I did tell you the story on Friday how Ladybot immediately ass-shamed me when I said I'd broken my glasses.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you sit on them? Always. No matter what breaks. If a car breaks, she immediately says, did you sit on it? No, that's a joke. How are you doing anyway, guys? Let's see what people are saying. Have you guys seen the Star Trek series Orville? It's super cool. Well, actually, it's not a Star Trek series. It's based upon Star Trek, but it's actually created by Seth. What's his name? The creator of Family Guy, Padre de Familia. You told me, right?
Yes.
Oh, so I don't get any of a laugh up because you told me before the stream.
Of course.
What's his name? Seth something. Well, no, whatever his name is. It's created by him.
I can't remember.
Yeah. And it's good. It started off as a real comedy, as like a Star Trek parody. But that last season was really serious, right, Ladyball?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else people are saying. I can't see the new ones because they're not in Spanish, in a Spanish platform. I have to wait. I really recommend Strange New Worlds. When it comes, you will enjoy it. Trust me. The captain's great. The story's great. Go on, you have it.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. I wish I could give you a ProBoh approved. I can't. I have no buttons anymore.
It was Google.
It was Google approves of ProBoh approves Google and Ladyball. Low Energy Monday, but we have to change it. Nuriatam, we have to change it. Because the people who are listening to us on the radio right now, they're in the future. They're already in Tuesday morning. They're already feeling those Tuesday morning vibes. They got the worst day out of the way. We're doing that right now. Okay? We're doing that right now. I wish I had like a meditation thing. Like the you know what I mean? That we could do an I mean, I usually, to be fair, before any live show in the Vaughan Radio studio, I scream and shout. It's a fact. Natural laughs at me, but it helps me get me there energy-wise. I always do it like no one is watching, says Gandalf. What is that it? Well, that's for me to know and you to find out. Chusky, yeah, she's got a white t-shirt. That's all I see. No, you can see her a little better now. She's wearing black because she wants to remain under cover of darkness. You should actually see everything a little better. We did some work on the lighting in the studio this weekend. You can see her eyes and her smile, just like the Cheshire Cat, says Gandalf. So we only get to see her face. Exactly. The rest is for ProBoh, man. The rest is for ProBoh. You guys get the face, I get the rest. Is that that's the sexiest thing to say, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. I don't care. You may be sat at home now thinking that's not nice. That's not a nice thing to say. ProBoh doesn't care. Robbie's going to sleep like a newborn baby, even if you're upset. Which takes us to which actually is a nice segue into today's unpopular opinion. We're not going to go there just yet. What else do we have coming up in today's show? Well, let me tell you something, folks. We have got 2 delectable news items for today's Complete the News. We're going to travel to Iceland and uncover the secrets of Nosferatu. Ooh! Do you know who Nosferatu is, Ladybug?
I'm not sure.
He's a vampire, famous vampire from history. Well, from history, you know what I'm talking about. And we're going to imagine we are animals in today's 100 humans. And, of course, that's all coming up in the second part of the show. In the first part of the show, we have got a tasty, unpopular opinion. Ooh, God. I'm going to have you reassessing your whole lives. Or maybe not. Let's see. I'll be honest, today's unpopular opinion is quite popular. Was it popular on Instagram?
It got 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. I don't care. I'm going to stick to the script, folks. I actually believe in this one. Interesting fact, guys. Do you remember as a Complete the News? One day we spoke about NASA sending a rocket to an asteroid to change the asteroid's course. Do you remember in the Complete the News I said it's changing its course, it's too hard to land, or,
Yeah.
Do you remember that piece of news?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tonight, the DART spacecraft, it's called DART, D-A-R-T, tonight it will hit the asteroid. It's going to actually try and change the course. Yeah, I feel like you're not impressed by this, anyone. Why is no one impressed by this? NASA is doing an Armageddon, friends. Do you know what Bruce Willis did in the Armageddon film? NASA's doing it in real life, and it's happening tonight. Wait, let me read you a little bit. Hopefully. I know what you're all worried about. You're thinking, Rob's all excited about this. Rob's really excited, and tomorrow we're all going to die because an asteroid's going to hit us. That's what you're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't know why it's not going to happen, but I trust NASA. Why wouldn't you want to trust a branch of the government? Actually, I don't know if NASA's a government agency. I assume it is. Anyway, what was all this going to? Yeah, I was going to read a little bit about, a follow-up on one of our news stories. NASA's double asteroid redirection test. Woo! Double asteroid redirection test. That is where they get the name DART. D-A-R-T. Spacecraft is hurtling towards the asteroid Didymus and its moonlet. So he's got a little asteroid that circles it, a moonlet. Dimorphos. And it will reach its target tonight at 7:14 p.m. I think that's 11:30, if I'm not mistaken. In British time, that'll be like midnight for us here in Spain. So if we all die in a fiery death, you heard it here first. You know what to do? I don't know. If I were you, I would go to iVox, Stitcher, and just download all the podcasts before you go. Just in case. The internet gets taken out, you'll have a good collection of that ProBoh goodness for your ears. You're welcome. Right? That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Also bottle some water, but get your priorities straight.
What else?
Before water and food and shelter, have your podcast. Hi, Robin Ladybug. What's up, Jeffa? How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing? Nice to see Jeffa, man. Jeffa, we missed you at the quiz night. You need to come to the quiz nights, dude. I think that is... so we only get to see her face, and I think that's fair, says Gandalf. Aww. So sweet. He continues to say, it will split in two, hurtling towards the Earth. NASA is not a government agency, but it's highly regulated by the government. Can we get a ProBoh approved for Gandalf?
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Dude, as we've mentioned on many shows, I am an idiot. You know what I mean? So I rely on your intelligence to feed the content. I really do. Yeah, so and also, I read somewhere that NASA is kind of rethinking a manned mission to Mars right now. And they're rethinking it, I believe, as they did in that melodramatic TV show that you like. What's it called?
For all
Mankind.
Mankind.
It started real good. Started really well, did that show. Turned into melodrama. Don't you just hear that? It's all science and action and adventure, and then it becomes about, oh, he's having an affair, oh my god. Come on. I want to see the space things. Rob, something tells me it is going to happen. Come on, let's be positive, Bridge. Let's be positive. There'll be no asteroid hurtling towards the Earth. You know, hopes and prayers. Do you know the power of your positive belief will just push that asteroid away from the Earth? Better than the DART spacecraft. No, look, this is a good thing, guys. The DART spacecraft is a good thing. This is basically NASA practicing to save our lives for the future. That's what the whole ethos behind this mission. If they detect an asteroid hurtling towards the planet, they won't detect it. If they detect it, they won't detect it. They miss most of them. It doesn't matter. If they detect it, they want to know that they can change its course, change its trajectory so it doesn't hit the planet. But thousands of meteorites go undetected. Shut up! Shut up. It's good. It's good science. And we're happy that NASA is here to protect the Earth. You know what I mean? I am, at least. Let's see. One piece will hurtle into Madrid and the other into Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll be doomsday buddies, says Gandalf. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. That would be the worst look ever. What's up, Seri? Welcome to the stream. Guys, I've spent so long talking about what's coming up in the show. But yeah, I feel like I've made you all paranoid now about meteors. Look, this is a good thing. These asteroids weren't initially headed for Earth. They're just trying to change their course towards Madrid and North Carolina. I hope you're well. I'm driving today, so a little bit lurking. No worries, Sari. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Rob's famous last words. This is a great thing, guys, let me tell you. You just put that... When humanity is collapsing because of the giant impact, the nuclear winter caused by the impact, please find my body, bury me, and may those be my last words. It's a good thing. It's a good thing they're moving asteroids now. Okay, so you know what we should do, folks? We should get into today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh my god, guys, unpopular opinion o'clock. How does this work? Every day I post one of my infamous unpopular opinions on my social networks. That's Twitter, at ProBoh, 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 and Instagram, at Professional Bohemian. That's Bohemio Profesional, but in English, and all one word. There you go. So I post an unpopular opinion. You guys vote, and you tell me how misguided and rubbish I am. And I don't care. And I keep talking about it on the radio. So what's the point in voting? Don't question it. Just do it. You know what I mean? It's much better than me having to come up with some lame-ass reason. You know, it's so you feel involved. The people who really direct the show are the people in the chat right now who, after I finished my my pitch, tell me if I'm wrong or not. I will admit defeat or not. Today's unpopular opinion, it's a good one, friends. Personal accountability is failing in society. Personal accountability is failing in society. You, Ladyboy, you had to click the link, right? Because Personal accountability is not something easily understood, translated into Spanish.
Yes.
So it's being willing to answer for the outcomes resulting by your choices, your behavior, and your actions. Personal accountability. Okay? You know, I'm fat right now. It's my fault. It's not society's fault. It's not because I'm being force-fed fatty foods. It's not because the supermarket things are but the fruit is too expensive. No, it's because I'm greedy. I'm a greedy man, and I like to push food into my mouth as if food is going away. Right? I like sweet things. I like them in my mouth. I like the way they taste. It's my fault. I'll do something about it. Personal accountability is failing.
Like take society. A scooter.
Like taking a scooter instead of walking when you're exhausted after a full day's work. That's a good example. Lady.
Okay, responsabilidad personal.
Is that how you say
Spanish,
it?
I think.
Personal responsibility. Okay. Thank you. Give yourself a nivelazo.
No, because I'm not sure. I think it is.
Well, you know, it's on the radio now, so let's say yes.
Nivelazo.
I didn't know the concept. It says, Nuria, that's why I dropped the link so you guys could read about it before we started picking it apart in the show today. Okay, let's see. Gandalf, people have no idea what that means anymore, Rob, which is what makes this an interesting conversation for debate. Yeah, I think the popular opinion is that personal accountability is actually failing in society. I'm offended and it's your fault. Exactly. This is an interesting thought, right? And something that we see more and more today. How hard must it be to be a comedian in this day and age? I mean, for more normal people, not me. I just don't care, about what anyone thinks. Whatever. But if you notice, like most of the comedians that really handle this age of hypersensitivity are the ones who do the exact same thing. I don't care what you think. Let's continue with the chat. There is too much emphasis is per, says the bridge. I think she started writing that message, then left. I don't know what that means. I think she had too much emphasis is she's taking a nap. Okay, that was exhausting. Those first 5 words. Ravdos. It is Rob and the lovely Ladybot with a light. That's right, Ravdos. You can see her now. She's not very happy about it. So, personal accountability is failing. Yeah, in many ways, I would argue. I mean, look at what we encourage in today's society, right? Not only do we not take responsibility over our own body and our own actions, we actually engage in behavior that is bad for us, and then we get lauded for it. I'm going to talk a bit now, and I understand a lot of people are going to get angry with what I'm about to say. I get it. I just want, if you're easily offended, I want you to remember one thing. I want those tears. I want you to cry those tears. It's healthy. I want you to cry them into a little jar. Send them to me because they're delicious, and your anger only makes me more powerful. That's a fact. That's a fact. Right, let's look at this. The other day on Instagram, I saw, oh, wow, I'm going to get into trouble for this. You're going to send me messages, and I'm going to have to delete them. And they're going to occupy my inbox. I saw on Instagram the other day a plus-size model. And in her feet, she had a summer shot. It wasn't inherently an ugly shot. She looked nice in it and everything. But in her summer shot, there was a guy there. There's a guy that commented. He said, look, I'm a doctor, and your size may be an issue later in life. Oh my God, I have never seen a string of hate aimed towards this guy. And this guy was a doctor. I've never seen so much hate put towards him. Well, I mean, may have been a doctor, he may have not. But, the girl, she was on the heavy side. And, it was just like a lot of hate towards this guy who made the comment. She actually took a screenshot of the comment, posted it as a story, encouraged people to reply. It was a bit of a, we say in English, an SHIT show. Okay. And so it was comments about this doctor being kind of ignorant and fat shaming and things like that. And then comments about this lady being so brave, posting her photos, and you know, she's beautiful and brave. And okay, I would love to give my my input on this. Look, you post whatever photos you want. I don't care. You know, I'm not going to lose any sleep on it. I'm not going to comment on your weight because I quite frankly don't care. I don't spend that much time navigating social networks to comment on people's weight. You know what I mean? But as a doctor, maybe it would be in my interest to say, hey, by the way, might have a condition there. How is a doctor now supposed to approach a woman who is plus sized but happy about a weight issue? You know? How as a society has this become a thing that we're no longer allowed to talk about? Like in this generation that we're living in right now, may be the first generation to live a shorter period of time than the generation prior to it, because of things like obesity, cardiac disease. You know what I mean? These things are not getting better; they're only getting worse. So how do we have an honest conversation about weight and body shape and body size when anything, even as simple as this poor guy who made a comment, hey, nice picture, I'm a doctor, I just want to let you know that maybe, you know what I mean, your weight may cause you problems when you're older, gets like publicly kind of dragged through the mud for making just an observation like that.
Was he polite?
Yeah, it was very polite. It was very polite. But you know, then he did comment on a picture of her in a bikini. Well, it was like a slideshow of pictures. So that's quite tasteless. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying that he was in the right completely. But I imagine like a doctor's office and a woman walks in and she's like, hi, I'm in perfect health. Just come for my checkup. And, you know, how is he supposed to, and imagine she's overweight. How is he supposed to deal with that issue? Look, you're very brave. Can you be a little less courageous? Can we take how brave you are down, like to normal levels of courage? How are you supposed, like in a time where everyone is so easily offended and personal, we can't just take responsibility for the way our bodies work. Like I'm a smoker. If I get cancer, do you think I'm going to blame the tobacco industry? Or do you think I'm going to blame myself? I'm going to blame myself. I'm the one who smoked. If I go back to drinking heavily again, and I get liver cirrhosis, I'm not going to blame alcohol. I'm not going to blame problems, my psychological problems caused by X, Y, and Z that led me down the path. I'm going to blame myself because I'm the one who put the bottle to my lips. And I feel bit by bit, society is losing the essential art of personal accountability. Not only are we losing it, we're starting to encourage people to you do you. You know, your life, live it. Okay, well, fine. I mean, I'm all about that. But I'm all about also taking responsibility for our actions. Let me read some comments. I made it today. Hi, Nessa Vanessa. Welcome. No one ever gets angry with what you say, Rob. Yeah, not always true. I see the messages. Someone called me a bigot for talking about horses. And then someone called me on YouTube, someone called me... Yeah, it's something about my ego, whatever. I love the negative messages. One day I'm going to compile them all and read them all on the show. I don't care. He was at least playing a doctor in the comments. Yeah. I mean, look, I imagine he was... I mean, I didn't click on his profile to find out who he is. I just know it was nicely written, very short, and and I saw the story that she posted afterwards. Oh my god, this guy is fat shaming me, and oh my god. And that's just one example, man. I mean, I'm sure you guys can think of others. I have two thoughts. One, did anyone ask his opinion? Yeah, that's true. In the doctor's office, you are asking for advice. But posting a picture, you're not asking for medical advice. Two, if you put yourself out there and you have to deal with the good and the bad, speech might be free, but that does not mean there is no price to pay for what you say. Yeah, that's very true. Oh, Rob, leave tobacco, please, says Nuriatam. I know. I will one day.
Nivelazo.
Whatever. You are so right, Rob, says the bridge. Yeah, I mean, that's just one example. I mean, we'll go back to comedy if you want. You know what I mean? This offense. Like, I honestly feel like the whole thing with Will Smith at the Oscars wouldn't have happened at any other moment in history. Other than now, where we feel so righteous. I think what happens now is you have this personal opinion, or you're living your life in a certain way. It's so easy to reach out to a vocal minority who will back you up and normalize a trait that might not be healthy for you, or even healthy for those around you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm using their weight as an example, but there are tons of examples out there. Tons of them. And you know there are. I mean, before I brought up the weight issue, most of you agreed with me. Thank you, Lady Boss, says Noria. Oh. I wanted to ride the dart and die crashing into it, but they told me I'm too old, says Trusky Trusky. All right, guys. Interesting debate. I've got more to say on the issue, but we'll get back to it. We're living in. I'll leave it at this. We're living in a time of abundance. We have never had a society as lax as we have, and we have never been so intolerant of other people's thoughts and feelings. Guys, I'll leave it on that note. I'll pop a post in the chat so you can vote. I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Ooh, we're tackling a tough subject in today's unpopular opinion, folks. Personal accountability. What did you say it was? Responsabilidad personal.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
So sweet, that feeling. Personal accountability is failing in society. Before the break, I used an example of an overweight. Well, she wasn't overweight. She was a very big lady who posted some bikini photos on... she was a plus-size model who posted some bikini photos on Instagram, and there was someone who claimed to be a doctor who left a very polite message, but, you know, a very direct one. You know, great photos, but, you know, you maybe have problems in later life. You're young now, you know what I mean? It actually sounded concerned rather than offensive. And she turned that into an Instagram story, and there was a lot of hate. And then also a lot of support for her in the chat. Now, I'd love to expand on that a little bit. And I'll expand on it like this. It's not an issue of weight, okay? That's the first thing. Like, my family are all big. Like, Ladybug can attest to that. The issue for me is, like, I put a lot of controversial comments out into the world on this show and elsewhere. I get messages. I get quite a bit of hate sometimes. And I recognize that isn't people. I've made that happen. I've actively gone out and to try and elicit an emotional response. Whenever you put something on the internet, you know what I mean, you can't expect 100% positive response. You cannot expect that. Neither can you be outraged when the world responds in a variety of different colours. That is just human nature. That is just the reality of life. That's just reality. You know what I mean? And I would consider it the height of arrogance of myself to put out a show and get no criticism, no negative criticism, or if I receive negative criticism, to be, you know, indignated. I think that's a Spanglish word. Indignado. And then be offended because people didn't agree with me. Because that is just nonsense. You put anything out there on the internet for the public, in the public eye, it invites criticism, it invites comments, and you can't expect every comment to be the way you want it. And that is a symptom of of responsibility, personal responsibility, failing. Does that make sense? Let's take it away from the subject of weight. Let's say instead of it being a lady who's overweight to a degree that it would cause health issues, let's say it's a guy who's clearly an alcoholic, and he posts reels of all the alcohol he's got in his house, or how much he's going to drink. You know what I mean? Someone in his comments say, look, dude, you're drinking a lot. You're starting to look a little bad. Maybe it's time to cut it out. How do you feel now about him posting that story, being outraged? Oh my God, how dare you alcoholic shame me? Because we're talking about the same thing. We're talking way more people die because of weight issues than they do alcohol issues.
Or the contrary, being too skinny.
Or being too skinny, yeah. And the weight issue is important to me because because I've seen it with my family, and but whatever. You get what I'm saying. Personal responsibility is failing. Ladybot through the break actually told me a really interesting story. A friend of hers owns a cafe, and someone arrived. One of the only bad reviews the cafe's got. Someone arrived after the hours when they closed down the coffee machine, to leave it clean for the following day. And because they couldn't order a coffee because they got there too late because they missed a bus or whatever, they left a negative review on the restaurant. These guys wouldn't make me a coffee.
Yeah.
Rather than taking, oh, well, I got here too late. That's my bad. No. It's a failure in service. Personal accountability is failing in society. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it. I want to turn my attention to some of the comments because we've got some amazing comments here. Chusky, people are not responsible for themselves. This is society is based on what others think about you. Great comment. Ravdos, no glasses, guys. My bad. Personal accountability is not failing. People are failing to be accountable for themselves. Yeah, is that not just the same thing? Is that not just the same thing? I mean, you might be right. It's too big brain for me. You're too intelligent for me right now. It's very hypocritical society, says Chusky. Yeah, I would agree with that comment. It really is. I still agree with you. This is from Gandalf. I think the Doctor deserved to be bad, and the good comments, he chose to say it. I think the model deserved the bad and the good comments she posted as well. Well, the vast majority of the comments were all good. Even the Doctor's comment was good. It was nice. I just think he was concerned, whatever. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I just edited this. Like, we're talking about an Instagram post with like maybe 5,000 comments and just a ton of them about this, about this guy who just, whatever. I'm big too. Let's say it. I'm fat, says Nessa Finessa. Just giving a little context here. I do agree that everyone should be comfortable with their bodies, but it's important we understand overweight is not healthy. Maybe it wasn't the best way for him to approach her. Perhaps a private message would have been a better idea. But we take responsibility for the messages we give out. I agree with you. Yeah, dude. I mean, look. I get you. Maybe it's not the best example of personal responsibility, but I mean, not only, not recognizing that being overweight is harmful for your health, but not recognizing the fact that if you put something out into the world, don't expect everyone to react positively towards it, or don't expect everyone to receive that message in the exact same way. That's a big part of personal responsibility too. You know what I mean? I got called a bigot the other day. I got called egotistical, all sorts of things. And I've been in the game long enough where I let that stuff wash over me. But I don't blame the commenters. I don't blame them. They're doing their job. They're being humans, having ideas that, not 100% of the time gel perfectly with mine. And I don't, that's fine. They didn't cause that. I caused that. And I'm happy. I'm all right with that. I'm good with that. I can live with it. That's what taking personal accountability is about. Like when I was in my 20s, I had an alcohol problem, and that, I spent so much of my life up until 21, 22, blaming the world for my problems. And it was only when I took personal accountability, personal responsibility for that problem to fix it myself, because I was the one who was doing it to myself, did I manage to turn my life around. And that's why it's so sad for me to see blame, so much blame, and so little personal accountability in society. Let's see, we're going to continue. What's up, Emily? Welcome. When I post a picture on Instagram, I know that some people will like, some will not, and may give constructive feedback, and I expect all of that. Yeah, you should. It's completely normal. I'm a fat person. I'm working on becoming a chubby person. That's awesome, Emily. I'm sad this turned into a fat debate and not a debate about personal accountability. But whatever. Being fat is not nice or bad. It's just unhealthy. Exactly. Now look, if this guy hadn't said, if he just said, "Ugh, gross," then go. I get it. But that's not what he was saying. He was saying you're going to have health problems in later life. You're young now. You can do something about it. You know, but whatever. My name is Gandalf and I'm fluffy. It's great. Nessa, very good example, says Nessa Vanessa. Obesity is the outward appearance of a long-term poverty and poor mental emotional health. I mean, yeah, to a great degree, but it's within every single person to change their own kind of life, right? Their own personal outlook. I mean, and that's not me saying like every issue with weight is because people love cakes. You know what I mean? My mum had a thyroid issue, which led to her weight. Because of her weight, she couldn't get operations to help fix other issues. And, you know, I've seen it first person. I've seen this issue first person. So I get it. I'm not saying that all people who are overweight, it's because they overeat. I know that's not the truth. But, you know, I'm sure people will take parts of my speech out of context in this and harangue me over it. But guess what? I don't care. I do the show to be criticised, you know. And it's not the people who are harassing me's fault. It's my fault. I do it because I like it. Otherwise, I just express my opinions to Ladyboy and sleep like a baby. Trying to find fashion to make fat people look nice or sexy is not emotionally healthy. Oh, ouch. Yeah. Well, just I think it's needed because there are some with glandular and thyroid issues. There you go. They are working on, but cannot lose all the weight. Medication just only does so much. So that's very true. That's very true what Emily's saying there. I think it's a great example. The shades of grey is where we all fail as a society. That's very true as well. So here's my take on such criticism, says Ravdos, and why there's such backlash to them. One person who is overweight knows they are overweight, and they are likely to know the health issue that go with that. They don't need each and every Captain Obvious to show up. Hey, that weight is not good for your health. For many people, but I think especially women, they face all manner of criticisms for just existing that may hide away from taking photos wearing bikinis and due to such criticisms of others. That's a fair point. Let's give him a ProBoh approved.
ProBoh approved.
That's a fair point. But you know what I mean? Not everyone's like posting pictures of themselves online. You know, if you're going to put anything online, it's going to generate some kind of thing. How are you doing, Conman? What Rob said, says Conman. Thank you. We have a society that gets off on shaming, and many consider the overweight as the last acceptable thing to freely cliche as if they were justified in doing so. Yeah, look, I mean, I use that as an example. I'm going to have to do this debate again in the future using a different example, because this has turned into a overweight and discurso about weight, and that's absolutely not what I wanted. Also, if you define overweight models, they say they are overweight. If you are healthy, does it matter the size? Asking for a friend. It depends. I mean, look, there's overweight and then there's obese, right? I'm overweight right now. You know, I know people who are obese and where it's debilitating for them. They have problems walking. They have problems, you know, losing the weight because they can't move enough to burn enough of the calories. You know what I mean? But he's a very good point. All right, guys. So there you go. And all you know, a mishmash of thoughts and feelings there. That's why we're here. All right, let's go to 100 humans. It was a long walk to work today, guys. Across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that way, I met 100 humans. And I asked them all one question. I asked them to name something they might chase if they were a dog. Name something you might chase if you were a dog. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the 7 most popular here. Your job, folks in chat, is to identify those 7 questions. All right, here we go. Here we go, friends. Are you ready? Ooh, the chat's going wild. We love this. Oh, my God. All right, Ravdos is first. He says, a bone. A dog might chase a bone. I'm going to tell you something, guys. I don't know how fast bones move. But what I do know, in order to chase something, we only feel compelled to chase the things that run away. Right? Nevertheless, did the 100 humans say bone? Yes, they did. Well done. Well done. Sir, you did it again. It's there. It's in 5th place with 3 of the 100 humans saying bone. Okay, we have tail. Rabo, right, you say, in Spanish?
¡Wow! ¡Qué nivelazo!
I earned that one too. So, tail. Do dogs chase their tail? Yes, they do! Oh my God, you guys are killing it. Okay, tail is there. It's the 6th most popular answer, with 3 of the 100 humans saying tail. Jareo, you never fail to disappoint. There he is. I'm just going to read it right now.
Yes.
My mother-in-law. Is Jareom's mother-in-law there? Sorry, it's not. There you go, Jareom. I've got to say, even though it's not there, I appreciate it. I appreciate seeing it every day. I do. Okay, a rabbit, says Emma Lee. Conejo. Conejo or cornejo?
Conejo.
Conejo. All right, I screwed it up. I should have gone with my gut instinct. Conejo, rabbit, is it there? Yes, it is. It's in 7th place. 7th place, rabbit. Nice, good job. Okay, Ravdos, Emily. Anyone else? Chusky Trusky. All say cat, or cats in the plural. Ravdos, Emily, Chusky Trusky say cats. Is cats there? Yes, it is. Oh my God, friends, you're on fire. Cats is there, is with 51 of the 100 humans. Over 50% of them saying cats. It's the 1st place answer. Well done, guys. How do you get so sexy and intelligent? I have no idea. I have no idea how we do it. Okay, next one. A car. Who said car first? Let's see. Ravdos says car, and others. Emily says car. Okay, so car. Is car there? Coche. Yes, it is. Woo. It's the number 2 answer. Well done, guys. With 24 of 100 humans saying car. Okay, what else do we have? Con Man, Friday Con says bird. Bird, pájaro. Bird. And so did Trusky Trusky. And Friday Con repeated it. Just in case I missed it. Thank you for that. Is bird there? It's not. Tell you what, my dog loves to chase birds. I mean, there are more birds around than there are rabbits, 100 humans. I guess because they live on mountains and river valleys. A lot. I guess that's why. You know. But yeah, birds is not there. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Laser pointer. A laser pointer, says Emma Lee. An original answer. Let's see. Is laser pointer there? No, it's not. Sorry. Mailman. The mailman. The postman, we'd say in England. How would you say that in Spain? The postman.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, but how would you say it in Spain?
Cartero.
Cartero, okay. So the postman. Is the postman there? Sorry. It's not there. Okay, Ladybug, you say it ball.
Yes.
Ball. I see you mean pelota, not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, ball. Ladybug said it. Ravdos said it. And did anyone else say it? No. Okay, ball. Is ball there? It is. It's there. It's the fourth most popular answer with 4 of 100 humans saying balls. It's always a nice thing to hear. Okay, you guys got cats, cars, balls. You guys have got balls. Did I mention that? Okay, good. Bone, tail, and rabbit. You're just missing one. Okay, let me see. We had squirrel, pheasant, duck, cat, stick, mother-in-law by Jario, killing it. But I see a bunch of people. Fire truck, ambulance, a wild boar, says the bridge. Bicycles at Chusky. None of those are there. None of those are there. Okay. But a ton of people. Like Ravdos. Who else said it? I saw Ravdos say it. I saw Chusky say it. I saw a bunch of you say it. You said other dogs. And friends, it's there. Well done. Well done. You guys are too clever for me. With no clues, friends, you have completed today's 100 humans. Well done. Give me a round of applause, lady. Yeah, that's it. Should we do the rundown? We're running out of time. We're only going to do one Complete the News on the radio show, but stick around. We'll do the other Complete the News. Just for the podcast exclusive content for the podcast and the live people. That's why you guys are the best. Okay, let's run down. In position number 7 was rabbit. In position number 6 was a tail. They would chase their tail. Do our dogs do that? They don't really.
Yeah, they do.
Really? Ringo, maybe.
Ringo.
My dogs are too lazy to do that. They don't chase anything. Maybe when they're sleeping. Okay, in position number 5, bone. Hueso. I question how fast a bone moves to be chased, but whatever. We're not going to put too much thought into it. In position number 4 was balls. I see. In position number 3 was other dogs. In position number 2, name something you might chase if you're a dog, was cars. Coches. And finally, in position number 1, well done to Ravdos and the gang who said cats. You guys are rocking the block over here. You're doing really well. Let's see, did I miss anything else? A lot of things. Rabbit equals dog at the races. Next time, ask 100 aliens, says Chusky. No, Rob, they didn't say balls. They said BL. They said ball. Well, I don't know. Maybe they said ball. Maybe they said balls. I don't know. I do know because I hand-asked. I asked personally 100 humans, and they said balls. There you go. It's done. It's fact. Hecho. All right, let's go to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
All right, we're going to start off, I think, in Iceland. Not recent news, but this is some some cultural learning for us all. If you don't know much about Iceland, you'll enjoy this one. How are you doing, Seri? No rats. They maybe do, but rats wasn't in the top 7 answers. Rats was in the top 100 though. So well done. That's a participation trophy. That's an adult participation trophy. Okay, here we go. Complete the News works like this. I give you a news headline with some important information missing. If you're one of the people watching the chat right now and you're too nervous to write, this is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. A news headline, there is information missing, I'll give you 3 options. All you have to write is A, B, or C. No spoilers, don't ruin it for anyone else who's playing. Here we go. It's perfectly normal to see blank thrown off of cliffs in Iceland every year. It is perfectly normal to see blank thrown off of cliffs. Tirado de un... Oh, how do you say it? Cliff now? It's a piece of... Oh, wow.
Acantilado.
Acantilado. Wow. Ladyball. I had to think there. Okay. So thrown off of cliffs in Iceland each year. Acantilado nessa fonessa. Can we get her a nivelazo?
¡Wow! ¡Qué nivelazo!
Here we go. Is it A, shopping carts? Los carritos de la compra. Shopping carts. Is it B, old people? Or is it C, baby birds? There we go. It's perfectly normal to see blank thrown off of cliffs in Iceland each year. Is it A, shopping carts, carritos de la compra, B, old people, or C, baby birds? Let's see. What did you write, Ladyball? You said C, baby birds. That's a very sadistic answer.
Better than B? I don't know.
maybe they enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe it's a game. You guys are
And
thinking.
A, you are contaminating. I don't know. Everything is terrible.
Okay, I see 1, 2, 3 A's. 1 B, one brave person has said old people. That was Emily. I salute you, Emily. But the vast majority of everyone said C. I know, and the bridge said A, shopping carts. The vast majority say C. Let's get a drum roll. It's perfectly normal to see baby puffins, which are birds, thrown off of cliffs in Iceland each year. Here you go. If you're watching the stream live, you can see that piece of news from npr.org. Watching thousands of baby puffins being tossed off of a cliff is perfectly normal for the people of Iceland's Westman Island. I'm told it's because they get lost very easily. So if you throw them in the ocean, it stops them from getting lost because they follow the moon. So there you go. They're actually doing a good thing. They're not just... It's not a sport.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Just to put your mind at ease. And there you go. That's from npr.org. That came out today. So you can, if you search for that on NPR, you will find it. I would prefer to toss people over a cliff, says Gandalf. It's not a sport like tossing ill people. All right, here we go. A Berlin museum has an interactive Nosferatu show that will give visitors a chance to blank. Ooh. So a Berlin museum has an interactive Nosferatu show. Nosferatu, like in myth, he's like one of the kings of the vampires or something like that. He's I don't know how ranks working vampire. I didn't see the Twilight movies, friends. I don't know. But I know he's important vampire man. A Berlin Museum's interactive Nosferatu show will give visitors a chance to blank. Is it A? You're already answering A. He doesn't even know. Okay, let's continue. Is it A? Donate blood. Donar el sangre. Is it B? To drink blood? Or is it C? To bite other visitors' necks? Oh my God. A Berlin Museum's interactive Nosferatu show will give visitors the chance to blank. Is it A, donate blood, B, drink blood, or C, bite other visitors on the neck? Woohoo! What have you put, Ladybot? You put A.
I put A. I want it to be C.
You want it to be nice. This is Berlin we're talking about here. It's a crazy party city. Let's see. MJ symbol A, not kidding. I see A, Ravdos A, MJ symbol A. See a lot of A's. Ladyball. I do hope it's A or C. I think A comes out on top there. Nuryatam said B, Connor said B, Jareama said B, Gandalf said B. Ooh, is it a tie? 1, 2, 3, versus 1, 2, 3, 4. No, most people think, okay, B is in the lead, I think. Drink blood. Let's get a drum roll. A Berlin Museum's interactive Nosferatu show will give visitors a chance to donate blood. Guys, come on. I don't know why you have to be so violent and graphic all the time. I don't know why you can't just, it's a museum. Come on. It was a slow news day. Give me a break. But guess what? I got you. I fooled you with the last one. A Berlin Museum is, giving people a chance to donate blood. It's celebrating the 100th anniversary of the legendary German film Nosferatu. And there you go, guys. Guys, I've had so much fun today. Thank you so much for tuning in. But some interesting comments there in the chat. Not sure you can purify something that is that far gone, says Gandalf. Dude, it would have been good if the answer was B. Let's just say it. It would have been cool. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We had a nice audience today. You guys killed it with the comments. Thank you so much. Guys, do share the podcast. Let people know that it exists. We need to expand this community even more. But hey, if it grows no more, I'm going to be happy right now because I have the cream of the human crop right here. I have the cream of the human crop. All right then, friends. So much you could be doing on this beautiful evening. Instead of doing those things, you're here with me, and it means the world. I'll see you all next time.